Welcome back. And it's snowing out there. They say we should be in the 3 to 5 inches range today. Mrs. Howell had some running around to do to go take care of some business, and I am working on some more drywall. There it is, big old sheeted drywall, sheetrock. This drywall is the fire resistant stuff, and it is a little bit thicker. It's going along that wall there, which is going to be behind the wood stove, so it'll be a little more heat and whatnot. Figured it made sense to get that better stuff that's made for better fire resistance and whatnot. So I cut out the opening right there where the socket is located, right down there. So let's get to work and get this stuff installed. Hopefully it goes smooth. Well, this sucks. I just grabbed my tools and stuff to do the drywall and realized that when I finished in that laundry room up on top, I didn't wash my putty knife. So now it's all dried and hardened on there, so that's going to be a pain. A little rust spots soaking through it, looks like. I guess that's kind of weird, huh? It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I'm assuming it's rust, but I don't know. Alright, anyway, it's all hardened on, so I'm going to have to clean that up, chip it off, scrape it off, try not to damage the blade in the process, and then get back to work. So here we go. All right, so I was lucky. The mud wasn't completely dried because it was just yesterday that I did the other thing over there. So it actually came off pretty easily, but I learned a lesson about leaving that stuff on your putty knife. So this putty knife had this bluing, some kind of a coating on the metal there, and clearly you can see where it was eaten away. And on this side, same thing. So something in the chemical makeup of that mud does not agree with long-term contact on these. That's what those rust spots were. It ate through that coating and started to cause corrosion on the metal. So thankfully it's not like real deep or anything too crazy. It's just on the surface. But yeah, that obviously damages your tools. So anybody out there who is doing any drywall mud work, or if you plan on doing it in the future, wash that tool right away. Get that stuff off there before it sets and starts corrosion. Lesson learned. All right, let's get back to work. So now I'm gonna let that dry, and I was just putting stuff away and I thought this would be a good thing to point out. Again, maybe it's useful to some people, maybe not, but this, when I bought it, depending on which one you buy, not all of them have this little piece of plastic, and that's all it is. It's just a little sheet of little plastic piece that sits right on top of the mud. And what I have found, this actually works well with paint also, to make it last a lot longer. So you see right here, you got, you know, I don't know what, 4 or 5 inches of space. So even when I put the lid on, this is all going to be filled with air. That air is going to dry things up, because those, you know, the lids are not perfectly sealed. They're not 100% airtight. So some of the moisture can escape, and that air allows that moisture to get out of there and dry it out. If you ever opened a bucket of paint that's been sitting for a long time and it wasn't perfectly sealed up, either the whole thing is solid and dry, or you'll find this skim on top. It's like hardened, dry layer of paint. Sometimes it's real thin, sometimes it gets thicker. Gradually the whole thing will be dried out completely. But if you do this, it works, like I said, it works with paint and other things too. You just take you a piece of plastic and you gently lay it on the surface so that there's basically a barrier between the air and whatever's in the bucket. That will make it last a lot longer. it just works. There's, without air making contact with it. It's not just a matter of things drying because the evaporation process, but some things dry because of a chemical process. They cure, and contact with air is a part of that curing chemical process. So putting that plastic layer, putting it down nice and even. You see on this, I smoothed this out so it's pretty much flat. It's not all lumpy. There's not big gaps of air inside there. And then you just lay it, press it down like that. And then put the lid on just like you normally would. Make sure that you press that down nice and tight all the way around. And that's it. So, random idea, random thought. Maybe it's useful to somebody, maybe it's not. Maybe you'll do it, maybe you won't. Not really that big of a deal, but thought I'd share it. So now I'm going to go and wash all of that because I don't want any more damage or corrosion on my tools. And yeah, I think that may do it. We'll see. I think that's it for today, for this video. Once this stuff dries, I'll end up sanding this and the stuff in the laundry room. And then we'll get some paint put on and we'll get that barn door hung up. So, thanks for watching. Come back again and see the progress.